After working into corporate for 16 long years, closing targets, climbing through ranks, managing teams, I thought to myself, I knew enough. Until that day, when I walked into that room to attend that leadership training program, and I discovered I did not. So, among other things, in that program, I also learned about managing time, and I got introduced to a tool known as Eisenhower Matrix, a simple visual tool that helps you in managing priorities using the parameters of urgency of tasks and importance of tasks plotted on a 2 by 2 matrix. Simple, nothing fancy. Yet I was zapped because here I was trying to juggle thousand conflicting priorities, firefighting my way, feeling inadequate every single day. Had I known about this tool earlier, it would have helped me years ago. What came as an even bigger surprise or shock to me was that I was not the only one. There were 20 more experienced professionals in that very same room with an average experience of somewhere 18 to 20 years. And for most of us, it was the first time that we got introduced to this framework. And that moment, I had a realization, not about managing time, but about leadership blindness. You see, the problem is not that we don't have tools. The problem is that we don't know what we don't know. In the absence of requisite awareness, what we end up doing is repeating what we consider to be the best, which is act according to our instinct, manage urgencies, and lead reactively. Not because we are incapable or incompetent, because we are never taught to pause and reflect how we are leading and what can be done better. Fast forward a few years as I transitioned into my new role as a leadership coach and a facilitator. I now walk into rooms full of experienced professionals across industries, from finance to manufacturing to retail, fashion, different industries, different cultures, different environments, different people, yet the same problem. There is a glaring gap in the leadership readiness, not at the entry level, but at some of the most senior levels. I have interacted with people who are managing P&Ls, who are leading verticals, managing fairly large teams, handling key accounts, yet having minimal exposure to basic leadership frameworks or emotional intelligence tools. What makes the situation even worse is that most people reach out for help or seek support after the damage is already done. When the culture has already eroded, people start leaving, teams get disengaged, and attrition becomes a pattern. It's then when the red flag goes up and they say, maybe we should consider a workshop. Maybe we should explore coaching. Tell me something. Do you wait for your car to break down to change your engine oil? If no, then why do you wait for things to come to a standstill, leadership to break down before taking any action? Leadership is not your fire extinguisher that you can get hold of, grab it, and douse the fire in the moment of crisis. Leadership is like a muscle that you build over a period of, and the earlier you start, the stronger you become. So I invite you to reflect and ask yourself, where is it that you are leading reactively? Where is it that you are avoiding a conscious or unconscious feedback? Where do you think that you consider you already know enough? What could be these frameworks or the tools that you might not be aware of because you never bothered to reflect and ask, how can I do it better? You see, you don't need a crisis to wake you up. You don't need burnout to shake you up. You can still grow by being curious and being a little courageous. That leadership training session was a wake up call for me. It changed my life. Not because it was revolutionary, but because it taught me an important lesson in my life. Growth doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing something that we don't. So if there is one message that I expect you to take from this session, to take from this talk, it would be this. Start working on your leadership before world demands it from you. Because when you lead proactively, you don't just manage better, you live better, inspire better, and you become the kind of leader that others remember. Thank you.